On Friday, we'll see less clouds, but still windy with a high of 58. Saturday, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 60 by the lake and 65 inland. On Sunday, a slight chance for showers, then mostly sunny and mild, a high of 65 by the lake and 71 inland. On Monday, partly cloudy, a high of 64. Tuesday, a chance for rain and thunderstorms, a high of 60 by the lake and 70 inland. Right now in Madison, it's 57 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 54. In Waukesha, it's 52. And in Milwaukee, it's 53 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatzo, Setting Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:08.
Your need-to-know cultural snapshot of Wisconsin and beyond. This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max. A deep dive into all things intriguing, riveting, and entertaining. Now, here's your host, Sandy Max.
Good evening. How are you? And it feels good to be back. And it is one of those days. It's the day after Top Chef. So I have I call it a takeaway. So you can find out what cool Wisconsin places were spotlighted and how our Wisconsin chef testant did. So that way, if you do want to go back and watch it and stream it on Peacock, and you can. But if you don't have time because you're busy, that's okay. You'll at least know the high points and you can join in any conversation on Top Chef. And also, it is the opening night of the Milwaukee Film Festival, 16 years strong, and it opens tonight with a documentary that is about to start. So if you didn't get there tonight, it's okay. There are 2 weeks, over 300 films, and going to check in with local filmmaker Joanne Williams to get some of her picks to help you narrow it down, because it can be overwhelming. But it's such a great opportunity to experience culture and creativity in Wisconsin and around the world. That is our mission with What's on Tap. And in the Milwaukee Film Festival, you have Cream City Cinema. That is the genre of local filmmakers, from feature-length films to shorts, and also the world view. You can see movies from Nigeria, from Korea, from Spain, from Poland, and it's just a great opportunity. So I'll help set you up and clue you into some of the movies that maybe you didn't realize were going to be seen. And if you've got some stale Easter candy around, you can get creative with it. Our traffic reporter, Debbie Lazga, is going to take us to an exhibition that's also been going on for a while at the Racine Art Museum, all about Peeps. So that is what's in store tonight before 7. And also a song that could get you in the mood to travel to see your Green Bay Packers internationally. That is the song you need to hear tonight. But let's get into Top Chef. And I'm also going to take you to Madison, because I have a special correspondent that was at the super cool Bravo Wisconsin Cheese Party, and it was pretty epic, and it was another cool panel of conversations to take you behind the scenes. But the quick Top Chef takeaway from last night, the coolest aspect, I'm embarrassed to say, I have not visited the Frank Lloyd Wright buildings that are right here in Milwaukee on the Burnham Block. And there's also Frank Lloyd Wright buildings and structures, Monona Terrace in Madison and Taliesin in Spring Green. You get to see all three of those architectural splendors in Top Chef in last night's episode that aired on Bravo, streaming now on Peacock. We are 4 episodes in on this 14-week stretch of Top Chef Wisconsin, the 21st season. And not only was Wisconsin-born architect Frank Lloyd Wright the inspiration environmentally to inspire these chefs who were visiting, and Chef Dan Jacobs, who lives here, but it was the concept for the elimination challenge. And they kicked it up a notch. It was a double elimination challenge. So 2 chefs packed their knives. I won't tell you who, but I can tell you that our Wisconsin chef, Dan Jacobs, did not pack his knives and is still going strong, and was a joy to watch. He still continues to be an inspiration and a really likable person. And you'll hear from Chef Dan Jacobs on the panel that he was at the Fancy Madison party in just a little bit on the show, giving you insights. Actually, I'm going to play you this because this is part of that Madison panel, but it is interesting to hear. Is it tougher for Chef Dan Jacobs being a Wisconsin chef testant? This was his answer. Well, for some reason, we can't hear it, but that's okay. But he says it is a little more intense because when you're going to see the guest judges, then they might be judging you tougher.
It was harder for me. So I wouldn't know the guest judge, but I know that guest judge doesn't want to look like he's being a homer. So I know they're judging me hard. I felt like it was also, my responsibility to showcase Wisconsin, Madison, Milwaukee in a good light and be that person that's gonna not just welcome the other chefs. That's just what we do. We welcome people to our state. I want our state to reflect well, and
So he really is repping for Wisconsin. So the show got out of Milwaukee into Madison, and the tease for next week has them staying in Madison. Looks like they're going to be at the Dane County Farmers Market, and also they are going to go to a supper club. That word has been invoked. So next week's show, I'm really looking forward to more of the creative culinary presentations and the excitement and intensity. When we return, you will hear from our correspondent, ESPN Madison's Madison Hayes, who went to this very special Wisconsin Cheese Bravo party in Madison last Thursday. She's going to give us her report so you can be up to date and insightful on Bravo's Top Chef Wisconsin next on What's on Tap.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Max with WTMJ, and you've heard me talking about 3 pillars. Well, guess what? You can come see it for yourself tomorrow. There is a fun, groundbreaking event that is happening that you're invited to. Why not come on out and see us in Oconomowoc at 3 Pillars? I will be there from 1 till 3. There will be activities, and you can enjoy the celebration as 3 Pillars groundbreaking is just, it's exciting to be in on the ground floor, and you can meet current residents and the staff and the community partners as they begin construction to really expand their top-rated senior living community. You've heard us talking about beautiful, scenic lake country. Experience it tomorrow and see what we're talking about. It's a safe, serene setting for you, for your loved ones. Maybe it's a chance for you to check it out for a parent, or maybe you're planning ahead and it's a chance to check it out for yourself. It's 3 Pillars. They offer a full continuum of care, so you're covered every step of the way. You can go to 3pillars.org to check out the info for tomorrow's groundbreaking, or just make an appointment to tour 3 Pillars at your convenience at 3pillars.org.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day, and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, "no appraisal required." When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, "no appraisal required," and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money, too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
You're listening to What's on Tap with Sandy Max on WTMJ.
Top Chef Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and Madison have been spotlighted at Oconomowoc. Beautiful cupola barn and farm out there. But it has been a real spotlight on different food, different culinary treats. Cherries, ginseng have been spotlighted, and last week's episode, there was a cheese festival put on by the dairy farmers of Wisconsin, and cheese was the focus of the competition on a hot summer day, and it was great to see it showcased. And in my circulation, found out that dairy farmers of Wisconsin, together with Bravo, were having a big viewing party last Thursday in Madison. So a special correspondent went, and we're going to find out just what happened at that party. Everybody say hello to ESPN Madison's Madison Hayes. So tell me, where was this party? What was it like?
It was at the Sylvie, which is a historic place in Madison. Like everyone there, it's like an iconic place for Madison. And it was like Bravo was in town. You could like feel the buzz around. And when you walk in, they had like the Bravo red carpet, and they got people working the red carpet that are doing interviews. And they have people walking around giving you drinks, and like people walking around giving you little slices of like cheese and cheese recipes. It was a very it felt very bougie. It was like, wow, this is like Bravo's in town.
First class and swanky.
It was swanky. And it was funny because it was swanky, and then it was so cool because it had so many like dairy farmers and cheesemakers. So I just felt like such like a Wisconsinite, like they're like taking in everything.
What was one of your favorite cheeses? I'm sure it's hard to choose a cheese.
Oh my gosh. What? Oh, it was like the blue ribbon, like pasture cheese. Every cheese they had on the episode, they had there for us to try. Brie to cheddar to blue. They had every kind of cheese, and like it's good pairing with it. So they had like some fig jams and some like chocolates and some berries and like some vegetables and some like different kind of salads. It was the biggest cheese board I had ever seen.
Well, you know the dairy farmers of Wisconsin are going to showcase it right and help 100%. You realize how you can enjoy cheeses at home. Because I don't know that I would think of fig jam, but once you have it and you have the combination, aha.
Oh, you're like, this is delicious.
Yeah, I want to do this at home. Give me the blueberries.
And there's also cheeses that were like colors and like they had like blueberry cheese and cheeses that were like purple that were infused with lavender.
That goes right into the creativity that we're seeing on Top Chef. So not only were there delicious cheeses to taste as featured in the Cheese Festival of that episode, but there were some special guests at this red carpet party.
They had Dan, who is a chef out of Milwaukee, he was definitely like a crowd favorite from the start. Like every time you mentioned Milwaukee or Wisconsin, we all were so excited. We were there with like a bunch of local Wisconsinites and a bunch of cheesemakers and dairy farmers from Wisconsin. So Dan was awesome. Like he was understanding what cheese meant to Wisconsinites. And then they had Michelle, she's a chef from Texas, and like she's so cool. Like she was definitely a crowd favorite as well.
She's so likable. She's the barbecue pitmaster from Houston she's so friendly and genuinely nice. Like I remember when Chef Dan Jacobs, who you were just talking about, revealed his diagnosis with Kennedy's disease to all the other chef testants, and they cut to her on Top Chef, and she's just full of compassion and kindness but that's her whole demeanor. This whole series is intensity, and she genuinely is like pretty darn unflappable. I guess she deals with heat all the time around the barbecue pits. She just rolls with the flow.
Oh, and she's so like it so comes like through when like you see her in person. Like she just seems like such like a nice, genuine person. And it was so great because she's not from Wisconsin, she's from Texas, but she really understood like how much like cheese meant to the Wisconsinites.
So are you a big Top Chef fan now that they're in Wisconsin, or were you watching the series before?
My sister is a chef, a self-proclaimed chef, but she loves all those shows. So one of our favorite activities is literally just like binge watching cooking shows, and Top Chef's definitely on the list for that one.
I love that food brings people together, including you and
100%.
Your sister. What's your sister's name?
Isabel.
What has been one of Isabel's biggest comments from the series so far?
Oh, well, she's actually the biggest cheese fan. So she literally, she'll watch the episodes and she'll take notes where it's like, oh, I could try making that. Where some things I'm like, Isabel, I don't even know like how to even start making that. And she could like see a recipe and be like, oh yeah, like I could probably recreate that.
That's the artistry of being a chef. I love that she's been that inspired, especially by the Cheese Festival episode. And what about you? What's been one of your favorite moments from the series so far?
My favorite moment is just like when they show shots around Wisconsin. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've been there. Or like, oh, I've tried that cheese. And I think that even made it like even amplified it, being able to try each of the cheeses that I now can like go back, watch the episode. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I've tried that cheese. Everyone knows that we're known for cheese. See what like cheese like truly means, like all the people here. They had a panel up there afterwards of like local cheesemakers that came up and talked, and they were just talking about how 98% of grocery stores have Wisconsin cheese in them, and that there's a cheese master named Pam. She's like one of 2 cheese masters in the world, and that you can only be a cheese master here in Switzerland. Like, it's just, you can just tell like for how many families and people like the whole industry affects, like how much it really means and how much like pride Wisconsinites really put into making the cheese. So like to put that pride like on spotlight and just like what Wisconsin's all about, just being nice to each other and like good vibes. I think that was like awesome to see.
Well, I wish you and your sister good times together as you continue to watch Top Chef Wisconsin season 21.
Thank you.
That is ESPN Madison's Madison Hayes, and it sounds like, according to her, taking over the Sylvie Theater. Dairy farmers of Wisconsin and Bravo know how to throw a party. You will hear from Top Chef Wisconsin Chef Testance on that special panel. Dan Jacobs from Milwaukee and Michelle Wallace from Houston, plus some other comments from inside that party. Next on What's on Tap.
So when our parents were moving from the farm to town when they retired, all these old pieces had to go somewhere because they were getting a smaller place. So we each got some furniture.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
There was one piece that still had our grandmother's name on it. It was the delivery ticket, basically. It was on the back of the piece,
written with lead pencil.
And instead of an address, it just said her name, Boyd, Wisconsin. That was the delivery
address. Back then, that's all you needed for an address.
Yeah.
That was the piece of furniture that all 5 of us kids wanted. You know, of all the furniture, that had grandma's name on it.
Today, I tell people that ask me, like, okay, I bought this piece of heirloom furniture. Is there anything special I should do with it? Flip it over, turn it around, take a magic marker, and write on that thing your name, when you bought this, where you bought it from, why you bought it. That piece will be cherished in your family for centuries to come.
People want to be connected to their ancestors a little bit, and this is one way of doing that.
And the furniture we're building today, 300 years from now, somebody's going to be like, wow, that thing was well built for its time.
PennyMustard.com.
I'll say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. It matters to us, and it should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngleth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
A Brewers Group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Birthday parties, anniversaries, or bachelor parties. You can count on the Brewers to host. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite spot at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
This is What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
We've been talking Top Chef. It is all the rage. And, you know, I get people are busy. So a lot of people don't even have cable anymore. So it airs Wednesday nights on Bravo at 8 Central, then streams on Peacock. And it's going to go for 14 weeks. We're in week 4. And last night was a fun episode that really spotlighted the Frank Lloyd Wright architecture. But last week's episode focused on a cheese festival and really involved dairy farmers of Wisconsin and cheesemakers here. So big old party was thrown in Madison last Thursday. You just heard a recap from our colleague Madison Hayes, who works at ESPN Madison. But this panel that was part of the screening party, hosted by Wisconsin foodie host Chef Luke Zahm also had chef testants Milwaukee's Dan Jacobs and Michelle Wallace from Houston, and cheesemakers Mark Crave of Crave Brothers, he's the general manager there, and Sartori Cheese Master Pam Hodgson, talking about what it was like to be outside on that really hot cheese festival day, but also getting insight on just how intense this competition is. This is what Chef Luke Zahm, his question for the chef testants.
How much time did the producers give you for recipe planning?
None.
Yeah.
Literally the car ride to the grocery store.
Yeah, man.
And then we still had to have conversation. It really is. You're thinking on the fly. Like there's no time budgeted for it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you're kind of coming up with the idea as you're driving to the grocery store, as you're in the grocery store, and you really have to it's tough because it's like even you'll get to the grocery store, maybe there's something you don't have, and then you got to pivot and you got to think about it, and that's not a time constraint. You really have to be able to be like water, like kind of just let it flow.
Like if you could impart like the one nugget of knowledge that you've gained from your experience, do you know what that would be?
How mentally challenging it was going to be. Like, the physical challenge is going to be there. It's going to be, they're grueling days. They're like 15-hour days. But I think the mental challenge of it, like just having the mental strength to be there through that.
I got an opportunity to be on another cooking TV show called Barbecue Brawl. And in comparison to Top Chef, what I will say, Top Chef is exponentially more mentally challenging than that particular show. And it requires you to keep your composure, keep your creativity, and then just be mentally sound through that whole process and still try to look skinny on TV. And, it's really challenging.
Especially when you're eating all that good food. That is Chef Testant Michelle Wallace and Chef Testant from Milwaukee, Dan Jacobs, on a special panel with the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin party last week, thanks to providing this audio, too. And then Chef Luke Zahm did ask the cheesemakers, how did they charm the Top Chef crew to choose Wisconsin to film season 21? This was Mark Crave of Crave Brothers and Sartori Cheese Master Pam Hodgson.
We had a lot of cheesemakers, some farmers, and we just all put the energy behind what you feel here tonight. What you feel here tonight, we were able to share across the table. We talked about our small towns, the C-store where you can get cheese curds that are made 2 miles down the road. The festivals, the summer we have festivals nonstop, right? We love it, we embrace life, and the dairy industry and in the cheese world fit right into that. And I think we were able to sell that to the producers that night to where they wanted to come and be a part of it. And we said, let's go.
I don't know that we sold it. I think we were authentic. We believe in what we're doing, and we believe in our family farms, and we believe in cheese making. I think we're really authentic, and I think you can't fake that.
Doesn't that just capture the spirit? So I love that Wisconsin's in the spotlight. Tell your friends, because they're jealous that they don't have Top Chef now that it's in Wisconsin. It is streaming now on Peacock, and we'll keep an eye on the highlights from Top Chef right here on What's on Tap. And you can catch up on the What's on Tap podcast. I'm getting all tongue-tied. One local filmmaker is helping share her Milwaukee Film Festival picks to help you make your choices, and the song you need to hear could inspire you to book a trip to see the Packers play in South America in September. After we check in with the WTMJ Breaking News Center, here is Jessica Gatso.
Thanks, Sandy. Waukesha police now revealing the identity of the man killed in an officer-involved death on Tuesday. Christopher Milikovich died of gunshot injury after officers responded to the CarMax on Blue Mound Road for a theft in progress. Police say the 50-year-old suspect made actions that he was appearing to draw a firearm. Investigation later determined he did not have a gun. 4 Waukesha officers are on administrative leave while Milwaukee police lead the investigation. Wisconsin Supreme Court Justice Ann Walsh Bradley will not seek re-election, another term on the state's highest court. Walsh Bradley is a liberal justice who has served on the court since 1995. The Milwaukee Journal reports she will leave the court at the end of her term in July 2025. The move creates an open seat next year for control of the court. Northeastern Wisconsin college students get new options. UW Green Bay is partnering with St. Norbert College for students to get college credits from both institutions as early as this fall. Students will be able to take classes at either four-year campus, regardless of campus residence or enrollment. Transferable credits between the institutions include foreign language classes, engineering, economics, and master degree programs in athletic training, nutrition, and supply chain management. Both colleges will also honor the tuition rates paid by students at their enrolled college. Taking a look at the roads with your Johnson & Sons paving, time saver traffic. Roads are looking mostly clear this evening. Just a little bit of a slowdown remaining at the Mitchell interchange. That's just a few minutes slow on 894 westbound from the Mitchell to the Hale. And taking a look at your WTMJ forecast, tonight scattered showers turning breezy, a low of 44. On Friday, we'll see less clouds but still windy, a high of 58. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 60 by the lake and 65 inland. On Sunday, a slight chance for showers early, then mostly sunny skies, a high of 65 by the lake and 71 inland. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 53 degrees. I'm Jessica Gatso, Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 6:33.
Each day, there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely, and you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery and haul-away, and way too low prices on Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper?
Yeah, besides that.
Well, Hasselus is locally owned.
You mean your franchise is locally owned?
We're not a franchise. Every showroom is owned and managed by the same family. So, when you shop at Hasselus, your money stays right here. And through Monday, our family wants to give you a $200 credit towards a new Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I like that.
Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I love that.
Free next day delivery too.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Shop local and enjoy a $200 credit through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce selected varieties Stone Ridge ice cream, 2 for $7. 11.5 to 15-ounce selected varieties Marie Calendar dinners or pot pies, 2 for $6. 7 to 15-ounce selected varieties Rana pasta or sauce, $3.99. 45-ounce tub selected varieties Imperial spread, $3.99. 128-ounce selected varieties Hawaiian punch, $3.49.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 24th.
What's on Tap with Sandy Max is back on WTMJ.
It is time to kick off the Milwaukee International Film Festival. Tonight is the very first film. It's a documentary about Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. If you remember that little sock puppet, it's supposed to be very heartwarming and fun. And then there's a big party at Villa Terrace tonight. Then you lean all the way into 2 weeks of films at the Milwaukee International Film Festival. It's their Sweet 16 anniversary. I have circled many, many films in my program. I love to get out the highlighter and the Sharpie and cross-reference my calendar to see just how many I can fit into my schedule, because it really is a treat to be able to see films on the big screen that have been created locally and also created from around the world, and for all ages and all genres, whether you like documentaries or weird, challenging films or kids films. So it's a real gift to have. And the films are showing at the Oriental Theater, the newly reopened Downer Theater on the East Side, and the Avalon in Bayview, and also the Times on Vliet Street. So I highly encourage you to just at least browse the titles at milwaukeefilm.org. And if you get overwhelmed and overexcited and you just can't choose, that's when I bring in my friends who are filmmakers. And I want to welcome to the WTMJ studio Joanne Williams. She has been a longtime broadcaster and now is a filmmaker. She's the executive producer of a documentary called The Exchange in White America, Kaukauna and King, 50 years later. And it premiered at the Milwaukee Film Festival, and you can watch it now. If you have PBS Passport, the streaming service for PBS, you can watch it there as well. And what a labor of love. And Joanne, so I respect your opinion, and you must get excited about the Milwaukee Film Festival. What do you have circled on your program?
One film I really want to see is something I've never seen before. It's a 1920 film called The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. And I've heard about this film ever since I was in film school. That's one of the first horror films ever made.
That's what I say. It's a scary movie, isn't it?
Yes.
And isn't that also with the orchestra?
I think there's going to be an orchestra.
Yeah.
Or
they do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I saw Nosferatu with I think it's the Alloy Orchestra.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be special. Okay, so what's that name again?
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. I want to see the Gene Wilder documentary.
Yes.
Which is going to be showing for 2 days.
Remembering Gene Wilder, and I'm getting the
Wilder.
impression that it is going to be fun. I've heard there are home movies, there are outtakes, interviews with people like Mel Brooks and Alan Alda, and of course they're going to explore his role in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
right,
and growing up here in Milwaukee.
Then I want to see a film that I think is co-produced by someone I know. It's Joan Baez, I Am the Noise. I'm with a group of filmmakers that meet every Friday called the D Word. We're documentary filmmakers. And there are 23,000 members are all around the world. And one of them, I think, worked on this film, and he's been talking about it for a while.
Ooh.
So I'm looking forward to seeing this.
Plus, she's just a woman who deserves a spotlight.
Right.
And for all of us to learn more about her impact in the music world.
Then I want to see a movie that I've never seen, Footloose.
Oh, I was going to say, Joanne, there are a lot of movies you've never seen from around the world and from local filmmakers. Yeah. You've never seen Footloose in all of its 40 years. How have you managed to avoid it?
I have no idea, but I'm going to see it. I'm looking forward to it.
What are you looking forward to most about Footloose? What do you feel like you've missed out on?
Dancing.
Kevin Bacon dancing.
Yeah, I think this will be lots of fun.
And I think it'll be a great time capsule of the 80s.
Yes.
1984, a perfect snapshot.
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
So that'll be fun. I want to see Out of the Picture.
Yes.
Which is Mary Louise Schumacher's film. Who was the art critic for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
I'm very interested in that because she has always been, in my readings of her work, a thoughtful art critic.
Right.
But unafraid to be opinionated, which is fine, because it's an educated opinion, and that's what a critic is. And now this film exploring less and less and less art critics in the world,
right,
and in the media, how does that shape our culture and creativity in the 21st century?
Then I want to see, since I like movies about sports, I want to see the Hurricanes, which is about the women's first full tackle football team, football league. They were called the Hurricanes.
With an H-E-R-R.
H-E-R-R-I-C-A-N-E-S.
It's very punny.
Yes.
But I bet they were tough sports, tough athletes.
We'll see.
Right. That will be revealed.
Yes, it will be. And then Copa 71, which is another women's sports film, which is about the first women's soccer team that won Soccer Cup. I'm not familiar with soccer, but nobody gave them any credit. Nobody gave them any attention, and they just sort of faded away.
And very interesting parallel considering the enthusiasm and excitement that's happening now with the buzz around Caitlin Clark and college basketball.
And women's soccer.
And women's soccer in particular in the past 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
Right. And then I want to see an Academy Award-nominated short robot dreams.
I want to. That looks charming to me.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it when the little video clip played at the Academy Awards, and
Yeah.
it looked very charming. And I love that that's one of the other wonderful things that Milwaukee Film does, is it brings those films to us. And there's another Academy Award nominated documentary called Four Daughters that's
Yes.
part of their programming that I'm curious to see.
Yes, that should be good too. I don't know if I have time for all that.
I was just going to say, this is quite the ambitious checklist. Do you think you will get to
I have no
any
idea.
or many?
I have no idea because I'm also involved with Milwaukee Film. I'm part of the Focus Finder 2-year cohort, which is a group of filmmakers who meet at Milwaukee Film 2 or 3 times a month, and we talk about our projects, and we talk about the festival, and we talk about lots of things. Since I'm so involved with that, they expect us to go to all of the panels, or as many as we can. So I'll be busy going to panels, trying to find time to see films.
But that's another great thing about the Milwaukee Film Festival is the panels and the chance to meet documentarians, directors, producers, stars of the films.
Yes.
It really builds this community and the chance to collaborate and talk with each other.
I'm looking forward to those.
Joanne Williams, have a wonderful Milwaukee Film Festival, and it's going on for 2 weeks, so I may check back in with you and find out
Sure.
if you have updated recommendations from your circulating amongst filmmakers, and find out how many you've checked off your checklist.
Yes.
Thank you for that insight, and hopefully Joanne has guided you towards something that piqued your interest. The website for Milwaukee Film is mkefilm.org. I'm sure if you just type in Milwaukee Film Festival, you can get the list, but don't miss out. And there are also programs. I know at the Oriental Theater, and you might be able to find them around some coffee shops. I'll figure out where some of those programs are so you can pick up a hard copy if that's the way you like to roll, or just look up online, mkefilm.org. Through the 25th, the Milwaukee Film Festival. I'm Sandy Maggs. Thank you for hanging out with me. And people, get ready for an interesting exhibition at the Racine Art Museum. Debbie Lazaga shares with us next on What's on Tap.
Generac. Hi, this is Steve from Mr. Holland's Home Services. The powers that be claim that you need to hear that word 3 times in 60 seconds to get you interested in a brand new whole house backup generator. What we really should be saying is lightning, lightning, lightning. Because all it takes is an unwanted and untimely power outage to spark your interest in a backup generator. Mr. Holland's crew can hardwire your whole house generator directly into your home's electrical system. So when the power peters out, your charge is still churning and the lights are still burning. And with up to 24 months interest-free financing with approved credit, the cost isn't concerning. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your brand new backup generator. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you need more power, we can help.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin, so there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit Froedtert.com/cancer.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, clicked on the blue button. One of our senior loan consultants, Brad, sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and then upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. They made a couple offers without success, and then Brad told them about AccuNet's new property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval included that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with a local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win and save money too. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and curbless, ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show. Welcome back to What's on Tap on WTMJ.
If you have leftover Easter candy, you might be inspired now by this creativity. I'm Sandy Max. You're listening to What's on Tap, and I'm also the host of the Arts Page on Milwaukee PBS. And it was several years ago that we went down to Racine Art Museum because they had just started a very fun, creative idea in springtime. So step aside, bunnies and chicks. We have an update. Peeps are taking over the art world at the Racine Art Museum again. Debbie Lazaga of WTMJ got a closer look at this sweet exhibition.
Attention all art lovers and sugar fiends. Buckle up because we're about to dive headfirst into the world's sweetest art exhibition. It's the International Peeps Brand Art Exhibition at the Racine Art Museum.
Obviously, it is a very unusual thing for a museum to be doing. I believe 15 years ago, we were really trying to find ways to engage people a little bit better in that kind of dreary transitional period where we are, where it's not quite winter, it's not quite spring.
Marketing and communication specialist for the museum, Tyler Potter, says to his knowledge, there's only one museum that does this, and it's the RAM. They even have a permanent collection of past winners.
The person that started the exhibition, a former employee, was super inspired by just how colorful Peeps were, and they really brought a vibrance to everywhere that they were.
So for 15 years, the Racine Art Museum has been hosting this incredible competition where artists transform these fluffy treats into jaw-dropping masterpieces. Of course, there are some rules for the entries.
One of the major stipulations for content is it has to either represent a peep or use peep as material. You see people submitting like drawings and paintings where it's not using the actual Peeps marshmallow candy, but it's representing that in some way or another. But I do feel like the most popular entry year by year are people using Peeps in dioramas.
And the topics of the pieces run the gambit.
You do see a lot of people responding to different current events and just pop culture in general. Like, obviously it's like election season, so there's a couple of vaguely political ones that we have, I think 4 or 5 Taylor Swift Eras Tour pieces. So people really do respond to what they're seeing and they bring that into the exhibition. I find that really fascinating.
These artists really get creative. They sculpt, they paint, they even glue the Peeps together to create mind-blowing installations. Are they edible or not edible?
Some of them probably. A lot of the people do paint over the Peeps, so obviously you wouldn't want to be eating those. But some of them are just kind of straightforward, just usage of the Peeps. That I'd rather you not eat them, but you probably could.
Gotcha. Okay, so no snacking while you're walking through the exhibit, but some of the pieces are absolutely adorable and some are breathtaking.
Yeah, this was the first place award winner for the adult division. I believe this one was shipped from Iowa.
Okay.
I know it was one of the 7 or 8 states represented in the show. But you see a lot of the fine details, like all the copper wire is molded into the Peeps shape.
Into Peep shape. Oh my goodness.
It's super cool.
Wow. And the best part? Anyone can enter. From professional artists to families with glue guns, it's a celebration of creativity and, of course, a whole lot of fun.
The fact that there's such an iconic shape and obviously like a controversial kind of candy in terms of you hate them or you love them, I think that really stood out to people and it makes it kind of like an accessible thing in terms of just being able to use that as subject material or media.
I know Easter is over, but you still have some time to view the exhibit.
The museum is open every Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and the actual exhibition runs through Saturday, April 13th.
It's the perfect excuse to unleash your inner child and get a little messy with some from Peeps. Who knows, maybe your masterpiece will be on display next year. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
I feel like we've been talking about playing with your food a lot on What's on Tap between now the Peeps exhibition at Racine Art Museum. See it this weekend. You will put a smile on your face. And then also Top Chef, where we go the other end of like gourmet and intensity. This is playing with your food in a nice, relaxing way and still bending your creativity. So again, the Racine Art Museum, thanks to Debbie Loziga for bringing us that fun piece. And don't miss out. It is an annual tradition, so you'll get inspired to maybe create something next year. And speaking of inspiration, how about traveling to South America in September to see the Packers play? The song you need to hear could inspire you to do that. Next on What's on Tap.
When our parents were moving from the farm, we each got some furniture.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
There was one piece that still had our grandmother's name on it. It was on the back of the piece.
Written with lead pencil.
Yeah,
that was the piece of furniture all five of us kids wanted.
Today, I tell people that ask me, like, okay, I bought this piece of heirloom furniture. Is there anything special I should do with it? Turn it around. Take a magic marker and write on that thing your name, when you bought this, where you bought it from. That piece will be cherished in your family for centuries to come.
PennyMustard.com.
Hey there, I'm Sandy Max, and tomorrow is a party to celebrate the expansion of 3 pillars you've heard me telling you about. Wisconsin's top-rated senior living community for a while now in scenic Lake Country. Well, they're expanding. This means there's room for you, and tomorrow afternoon is a fun, groundbreaking celebration of their new active adult community, The Fields at 3 Pillars, which will include a supper club, a pub, performing arts, a spa, a dog park, pickleball, and of course, nature galore along the Bark River. If this sounds like fun, then go to 3pillars.org. You can still make an RSVP to join us tomorrow afternoon. And heck, go ahead and make that appointment to tour 3 Pillars because it's a great, safe, serene space for you, for your loved ones, and they offer a full continuum of care, so you're covered every step of the way. Make your appointment. Tour 3 Pillars. Go to 3pillars.org.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this. Who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated? Might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now, feast your ears. This is the song you need to hear.
Most blokes are going to be playing at 10. These go to 11.
You've probably heard by now, Green Bay Packers fans, that their season is going to open against the Eagles September 6th in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, if I'm saying that correctly. We're all going to learn a lot more about how to speak Portuguese with the Packers. It's an exciting way to kick off the season. I'm sure some people aren't happy because, Lambeau Field is such a beloved spot. But adventuresome. Why not? Get your passport ready and go to Brazil. And ever since I found this out yesterday, I love the film Brazil that came out back in the 80s by Terry Gilliam of Monty Python fame. And this song has been stuck in my head. So I thought, share it with you. And like I said, it could inspire you to make the plan. Go see the Packers in Brazil. This is Gary Moldauer's version of Brazil. It's a song you need to hear on What's on Tap.
today's world,